Psycho-sid.
Kane.
Big Boss Man.
Triple H.
Ric Flair.
The Streak.
Greetings, grapple fans, and welcome to week 2 of the Lost Art of Wrestling Road to WrestleMania.
WrestleMania, baby, woo! That's the big show when he's been awake a long time.
When's our rage party?
We should totally do a rage party.
We need to.
I demand that we get the band that they got that drives around in a little scooter thing with a giant pea and a shooting come out of it. I demand it.
You book it then.
You're the booker.
I'm delegating it to you.
Talent doesn't need to get his hands dirty.
Paul, you have the night off. Bunkle, you book it. It's back for week 2. If you missed week 1, we covered parts 1 to 5 of the streak, or should I say victims 1 to 5 of the streak. This week, with week 2, we're covering victims 6 through to 10.
That's a lot of victims.
It is.
Yeah.
And I'm not alone. My guest at this time, my co-host at this time, cohorts and comrades. First of all, he's the baddest man in professional wrestling. Size Steel delivered. He is formerly a Dazzler. Billy the Boy Bunkle.
How we doing?
The audio gold.
Absolutely. I've got a lot to talk about.
He's chomping at the bit here.
I kind of am, actually. Once we get past this first set of shit, and we get into the good stuff.
You clearly don't mean you clearly don't mean the third match, surely, of today.
No, definitely not.
And at the corner to my right, he is a man who is
half a man. I fucked your timing up, sorry.
This is the problem when I can't see you, and vice versa.
True.
Just sort of guess.
Raise his fist up at the screen. Damn you, Skype!
So
Turn video on.
We could turn video on, but I have no camera.
Ooh. Ooh.
I have no camera.
there's me and Bunkle and just Rad Live.
Yeah. Just a big Red Alive logo. I have two faces on my screen. Bunkle raised his thing up, his notes up to the screen, and I'm like, yeah, I'll do the same. I have no camera.
Just get yourself down at Poundland wherever you go, Paul, and find one.
I'm just trying to find one in the bins. Fuck it. That's fucking
Yeah, fuck it. So, it's Paul, the Hat Guy Flinders.
It's not a hat guy anymore.
It's the Flaming Grill.
I'm the Flaming Grill.
Even that's debatable.
We are debating that at this moment in time. We've come to a conclusion on the last RAD podcast that we recorded at this point. It was like, yeah, it's free advertising. I'm not getting paid. I want burgers.
That's true.
We need burgers.
We need sponsors.
We do need sponsors, yes. Maybe we can be sponsored by the Dazzler shop. Bedazzled or whatever it's called in Cleveland's.
Wait, what?
Yeah, there is a shop called Bedazzled in Cleveland's.
Bedazzled or V-Jazzled?
Might be both.
It's where the Dazzler goes for his vajazzles.
The Bedazzled.
Yeah. So yeah, Right, let's jump into it.
Yeah.
So, we're going to take you back to the 23rd of March, 1997, for Wrestlemania 13. It's psycho-sid versus The Undertaker.
Absolute classic.
I wouldn't go. Well, I probably wouldn't go with classic.
Notably, the first Mania to the Roman numerals, it's also the first Mania to have Russo inputting in booking.
Also,
that would explain the Bret Hart promo.
Yeah. And it's the first Mania match for Taker going for the WWF Championship as well. So it's the first heavyweight championship match.
It also explains why everyone's pretty much fucking training on this pay-per-view.
Yeah, to be fair, it's fair to point out that it's his first title match, actually, because he's always been pushed, like, it seems like he's relatively important, but this is the first time they've actually gone, yeah, he is a main event guy.
And that is his first main event as well.
Well, it's his first Mania main event. That's for sure. I wouldn't know about anything before that.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. First Mania main event.
But they did fuck this up from the beginning, though. To me, Bret Hart comes out and cuts a promo, and it's fucking terrible.
I guess they just jump back on it to why it's Taker Sid for the belt. Shawn Michaels vacated the belt 3 days prior to In Your House in February. So they had a four-way, which is Taker, Bret, Vader, and Austin. Bret won, but then lost to Sid on Raw the following night. But Hart and Austin continued the feud, but then Undertaker was left to challenge, it was free to challenge Sid. So what that left Vader doing, I have no idea.
Eating burgers.
Probably. Thinking about squashing Dave Ray.
No, well, it's a bit shit, really. When even then, like, you think Bret Hart a one-day champ? Why?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just pointless booking. It's basically some guy refused to drop the belt to this other guy, so you had to put a tweener guy in, which is really annoying. But you know, like I say, Hart comes out and cuts this promo. I've not written down anything that he says in the promo. I've just put it was fucking awful, and the crowd cheers when he gets powerbombed. So I was like, I thought he was a babyface, but clearly he isn't. He's a whiny bitch heel from Canada.
Yeah.
I've noted, for myself, that you got Michaels coming out for commentary. Sid manages to botch another live promo backstage. It's the biggest event of the year, world. So strange to see a sea of light as rather than throne screens nowadays when the lights go out.
Yeah.
Taker comes out first and he's lonesome because there's no pallbearer after returning from Taker with SummerSlam 96.
I would say it's his first Mania without bearer.
Jim Ross actually mentions Taker has never lost at Mania.
Yep, that as well. First time mentioned. Yeah, it's the first mention of the space of an undefeated streak. It wasn't called the streak at this point. It was the undefeated streak. So, I also put Sid as a very wet man.
Well, Vince notes something about what Sid said in his promo beforehand when he's sort of going from shouting to them whispering. Which is, Vince, the thing about psycho-sid is he's not afraid of the dark. It's like, you can't scare me, Undertaker. I am not afraid of the dark. And
I am the boogeyman. Woo!
The thing to say about Sid, so he's like, yeah, he's not afraid of the dark. Sid with a bit of mixed reaction, and then, as I noted, Taker looks a bit strange. It's like someone's taken the head of the Attitude Era Taker and stuck it on the body of the Career Taker, like you could do in SmackDown 2.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
Heads.
I'll go with that.
It's at that point where he's like, it's like his gimmick's starting to evolve that bit again. You know how we were talking about it evolved last time when he actually had like the bit of the pyro and whatever it was.
Yeah.
It's like, again, this time, like, they've evolved his look again a little bit more. It enables his transition to where we go with, you know. So, I mean, I was alright with that. I thought Sid was, I felt like he was over. Like, I know you said that it gets a bit of a mixed reaction, but I felt like the crowd did actually want to see Sid. You know what I mean? It's not like they just, oh, here's this bum.
He was playing. It was sort of like with him though. The way he booked it was sort of like trainer lessons with Sid.
Yeah.
Like Brett's gone heel turn. Because like, I know you said you didn't make any notes from his promo, but as I noted, he comes out and he insults Taker, Michaels, and particularly Sid because he came Sid screwed about the title. But then Sid goes to throw a haymaker that even Steve Wonder could see coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It made Bret Hart look a bitch, but he was a bitch.
Yeah, that was the point of it, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was being booked to be the whiny, like, fucking guy that couldn't take it.
But then Taker goes a bit heelish and attacks him from behind before the bell.
Yeah, which I don't know. I don't know whether it's hard to decide. I don't know whether I'm guessing Taker was a babyface at the time, but his character again, he's always played one or the other. But you either love him or you hate him. Really, he is like Marmite. I can't say I've ever been his biggest fan, but you know that doesn't mean that I don't understand that he's successful.
Yeah, that's fair. I'd say that's fair.
So yeah, got noted. So he attacks him behind, gets him in the corner, a few shots followed up with a knee, followed by a splash, body slam, cover with a 2. Goes for old school, but Sid just locks him in a bear hug.
Yeah.
Slams him over the top, but then he lands on his feet.
Yeah, I just noticed it. I noted. Blah, blah, blah. I felt like it was a very a very slow pace, and considering it was no DQ as well, I didn't think they were like very. You know, there wasn't as much bending the rules as I would have expected.
No, I agree.
There was bits I thought, like when he slams him into the railings and stuff and the announce table spot.
Yeah. Oh well, yeah. I'd say there was that, but it was just a bit. I don't know. It felt cumbersome. But then again, I've not seen enough of psycho-sid to know whether it's just him. You know, whether you have that he has to wrestle slow and people wrestle him slow. Do you know what I mean? Like I know Taker can pick up the pace when he wants to, but
I think this part of Sid's gimmick is the fact he's meant to be like a slow, methodical pace, I think, if anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed as well with Sid, you're obviously talking about methodical and this, that, other. There was a lot of Taker selling his back in this as well. A lot of attention and sort of like moves to Taker's back.
Yeah. Well, they're setting up for the powerbomb, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which is good, but I did know there was a fucking shoulder claw. I fucking hate that move. Talk about destroying kayfabe. Fucking hell. What's he doing? It's a claw! No, he's massaging his trapezius.
Continue Yoko to his WrestleMania tradition of locking a trapezius hold.
Just
Thrilling.
Jesus Christ. No, thrilling. I actually wrote the word ew when I saw that move. Ew.
I could just really see you sat on your couch going, oh no, like looking away, going, tell me when it's over. And you're sat there going, I think it's over. You're like looking through one eye, going, no, it's not.
It's like when you like poking a lettuce that you've just kind of pulled out of the back of the fridge, so it's half frozen, half gone off. It's like it's kind of solid, kind of gooey, and it's like I don't know what this is. Ugh. Just horrible.
I can't say I get this metaphor. I'm just going to nod and smile politely. God.
But Sid fights out of the claw. And then we get a double big boot, which is a spot I've never really liked. Just because it kind of looks like a fuck up.
Yeah.
But maybe that's just me.
Yeah,
You know.
I'm guessing they're both, because they're both like big guys, I'm guessing they're both sort of wanting to do something different rather than double clothesline, but the double down.
Yeah, I say I don't mind trying to come up with something different, especially when Taker doesn't do like a normal clothesline. He always does that flying one, which you can't really,
Can't really counter much to that, really.
Exactly. So I didn't mind it. It was just, I don't know. I don't know if it's just me. Like it was one of the few bits in the Diesel match that I was a bit like, yeah, okay, I'll accept it, but.
There was a bit of dumb. There was a little dumb booking at this point as well. Obviously, you had the double big boot, both down.
Yeah.
So they're both down, but the referee's counting.
Yeah.
To which point, there's a 2 count for Sid where he leans over. I thought, well, if you obviously go trying to, suspend disbelief and things like that, suspend your belief, he just basically just cost himself the match. And the reason being is, I thought this is a dumb booking. Taker was down for the 10 count and would not have made it to his feet.
Yeah.
Had Sid covered, but then Sid covered him. This should have been done at 7 or 8, as Sid will look stupid for going for the cover when he could have just won.
Yeah, because it's one of them. Like, did the guy get it? Was it just missed timing? Was he actually meant to get there at 6? But it took him a couple more seconds to scramble up. It's one of them where I can see why people would think it's stupid, and obviously watching it back, it looks daft. But, I think when the adrenaline's going and stuff, you can almost make an excuse for it.
I suppose.
He didn't want to win like in a cheap way. He wanted to pin the guy and, look like a proper fighting champion, look like a...
Yeah, I suppose that would have been in character in a way.
Yeah, want to look like a hero.
Yep.
But no, it was. To be fair, I didn't think the match was that bad. Considering, I've given out on it a little bit, to be honest. But I didn't think it was too bad.
No, it weren't that bad.
Taker broke out the top rope clothesline, which is, I think that was the first time we've seen him do it, actually.
It is at Mania.
At Mania, yeah. And, Sid keeps going for these axe handles off the second rope, which, again, I'm guessing it's a Sid thing, but when you're onto your 4th one, come on, man, pick a different move.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yes, Taker goes for the tombstone, Sid reverses and tries to mock the Taker pin, but Taker kicks out.
Which I noted that, to be fair, I liked that, because that's the first time we've seen Taker get tombstoned. And it's the first time that he's actually looked like he might lose at Mania as well. He's never looked in danger until now. Well, maybe a bit against, Diesel, right at the end. But again, he sat straight up out the first powerbomb. Whereas this time he was actually down for a 2. A long 2. So
Bret Hart returns.
Yeah.
Next to a chair. Bunkle's looking displeased.
Yeah, I think, yeah. Fuck Bret Hart. I've never been a fan of Bret Hart. I think we've had this discussion, haven't we? It's like,
yeah,
he's majorly overrated. Overrated.
I think he is. I don't see it. I just don't see it. I was listening to another podcast the other week, and they're reviewing some like new generation stuff and whatnot. And one of them absolutely loves Bret Hart. He thinks he is like the pinnacle of wrestling, basically. And I'm just like, what are you watching? Like, I've watched Bret Hart matches. I've watched, some of the best matches he's ever had, and I just don't see it. I don't see what's so good about him.
He's capable. Don't get us wrong. Wrong. He is capable, but he's
extremely neat and tidy. He is a neat and tidy wrestler, a neat and tidy technical wrestler. Yes. Is he technically as good as Kurt Angle is?
No.
No. Is he technically as good as Chris Benoit was? No. So, he's not that good. He's a technical wrestler who, for the time, probably was the best technical wrestler at the time.
Yeah, he made very few mistakes.
Yeah, but it's not lived on. So I don't know. I don't like him, and I think his promos drag him down so far, and then you watch his WCW shit, and it's just like, oh god, can you not even, you're not even wearing the pink and black for fuck's sake. You go out in a hockey top, you fucking cunt.
To be fair, you started in the pink and black, and then
Hey, whatever, you tapped a Lex Luger, mate.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I think he stopped giving a fuck at some point, didn't he?
Clearly.
Yeah.
fuck in 1997 when he joined WCW.
Exactly.
Definitely. Because it was like, he joins WCW, he's going to fight with Hogan. Never happened. Anyway, less about Bret Hart because he's ruining this. Ruined this match. Ruined it.
Taker goes to chokeslam Sid, kicks out, goes for a flying clothesline, but Sid avoids it and goes for the powerbomb. Bret runs in again and gets the distraction on Sid, which allows Taker to scoop to tombstone him for the 3 in the title.
With the world's slowest 3 count by Earl Hebner.
Yeah.
It was Taker's first Mania moment.
Yeah, first championship he wins at Mania.
It might well be, but it's not a Mania moment because Bret Hart ruined it.
Yeah, it's tainted.
Fuck off, Bret.
His second championship, but his first Mania main event as well in 21-19.
Yeah. Yep. I'll put, because I wrote a paragraph for every match, and my little paragraph was not as good as his match with Diesel, but it wasn't bad. Probably second best match so far. But over his career, it would be, to me at least, a fairly middling Mania match in his career. That being said, it is a watchable match, but too long was spent in certain holds, such as the bear hug.
Yeah.
Though a decent story was being told revolving around Taker's back.
I'd say I'm inclined to agree. I did enjoy this match until the end. I hated the end. I hated the beginning. But overall, I felt satisfied with the two big guys. I didn't expect a massive pace, but I did, like them flying around. I maybe had a bit of high hopes, and I watched this straight after I watched the Diesel match, and the Diesel match did have really like a fast pace for two such big guys, especially at the beginning. So I was hoping for a bit more of that, but Sid does make sense. He's a bit more methodical, takes his time a bit more. But Bret Hart fucking ruined this. Bret Hart absolutely ruined this. If it wasn't for the dog shit promo at the beginning and then coming in and ruining the end, literally ruining the end. At the end of the day, Sid dropping the title to Taker, I don't see why Taker needs help. I don't see why that you need to throw in this fucking knobhead.
Yeah.
Right at the end. At the end of the day, Taker was undefeated at Mania. He was a former champion. He's been there. He's been at the top of the mountain. Sid, I don't know. I'm guessing this was his first title. Either way, it's a match that you don't need the interference. If there was no interference, Sid still comes out looking strong. What you've tried to do is you've tried to make Sid look like, oh well, he wouldn't have lost the title. He wouldn't have lost, but if it wasn't for Bret Hart. But now we have to do Sid versus Bret Hart so Taker can go roll the belt. Well, no. At the end of the day, what should actually happen is, well, Taker now has to face Sid again, but with that Bret Hart banned from ringside, which means we'd actually get the match we want to see, but now we're watching it on Raw instead of the pay-per-view that we just paid 40 quid for. I'm sorry, fuck you, I've just paid 40 quid for that. I expect a proper finish. I want it done how it needs to be done.
Bro.
Swerve, bro.
I put Bret in that match because, bro, let me tell you something. That Sid guy, he didn't know how to work. And, bro.
God.
Yeah. Sorry, I've finished ranting now. Coxy can have an opinion.
This, bro, my opinion is literally this. With okay, I find it slow going at points. This is also rumored to be the match where Sid apparently shit himself after the tombstone.
Oh, nice.
That's fantastic news. Absolutely brilliant. But no, I've given it 2 scores. I've given it my actual score and my without Bret Hart score. My actual score, I gave it 1.5 coffins. My without Bret Hart score, I gave it 3 coffins. So Bret Hart equals a minus 1.5 coffins.
I thought you would have given it. I thought you would have given it possibly 7 coffins out of 5, but we minus 4 with 4. Because you minus the 4 for Bret Hart, because he's obviously 4 out of 10.
Yeah. He is a solid 4 out of 10.
Yeah. Equals 3. So yeah, but I agree. 3 caskets out of 5.
I originally gave it 3, but I have to Bunker's little mini rant. I dropped it to 2.
God damn it, you made him rant and waste time.
Why damn you?
I want it done how it needs to be done.
It's 4. So yeah, any more thoughts on that one, Paul? Or
no, just it was.
So I agree with everything Bunkle said. Fuck it, move on.
Well, I mean, at this moment in time, obviously you've got to think about the 6 matches that we've had so far. It's probably the second best we've had so far. But in the grand scheme of things, I'd say it's probably one of the more distinctly average matches of the of the streak. Somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll jump ahead to the 29th of March 1998 for Wrestlemania 14. It's The Undertaker versus Kane.
And it's the first streak match of the Attitude Era.
Yes, it is. Beginning at Bad Blood in Your House, which was the Hell in a Cell between Shawn Michaels and Taker. Taker pretty much had the match won. The lights went out, and this masked man came to the ring, revealed to be Undertaker's kayfabe half-brother, and Taker vowed never to fight his little brother, because luckily with this WrestleMania, you got all the backstory before the match.
Yeah, we actually got a promo package.
Yeah, you need it for this shit.
Yeah, it was the first, like I say, it was the first promo package of obviously any. Well, we got a bit of a promo package for a couple of Did we get a promo package for Jake Roberts or something like that?
Yeah, Jake, he got a little bit of a promo at the beginning.
Yeah, so it was this was like a first proper, fully fledged, proper backstory telling you everything that's gone on.
Feud.
Yeah, like a feudal sort of thing. It was and I also put the comment on it saying they don't make promos as good as this anymore.
Well, pretty much the thing to take away from it is there's a lot of fire.
Yes, there's lots and lots of fire. Lots of fire. Lots of barbecue.
I can just see Bunkle reach into his fridge.
Bunkle is in his fridge. He's probably looking for something to put on the fire for the barbecue.
Is it Bret Hart?
It could be Bret Hart, yes. It's not Bret Hart, it's an energy drink.
Strangely enough, it's not an energy drink, but there we go.
Oh!
I have quit.
You've quit energy drinks?
Yes. I have forced myself to. Yes, no. I'm trying not to die in my 30s.
Ah, fair enough.
So yeah, getting back on topic.
Yes.
Taker and Michaels had a casket match, with DX claiming Kane had joined DX at one point. And at the Royal Rumble 1998, Kane came to the ring, locked the Undertaker in the casket before setting it on fire.
And smashing it with an axe.
That was before the Rumble. No, during the Rumble. No, he set it on fire, And then Kane challenged his brother. Undertaker challenged Kane to a match at Mania. And then just batshit crazy stuff happens.
Yeah.
This is like the lightning and the fire and the stuff like that, isn't it? This is where they get magic powers.
Yeah. It's like Kane, but he uses lightning on the Titantron. They set a crew member on fire. Like lightning strikes a casket and Taker appears out of it and all that sort of shit. So.
Because they now have superpowers, folks. He's gone from actually being a guy who is undead and buries people to a guy who now has lightning powers and buries people.
He's become a Sith Lord.
Yeah. It's like, wait a minute. He was undead. How does an undead man control lightning? Well, his character developed. What? Explain this to me, goddammit!
Maybe this is what's going to happen in The Walking Dead next. This is how they're going to get viewers back. All of a sudden, they're going to start shooting lightning out the palms of their hands.
Oh, they're going to hire Mark Calloway and Glenn Jacobs, and they're going to be the two big bads.
I'm expecting like there have been like a production meeting of Vince like, so what do you have in mind for the feud leading up to WrestleMania? And Vince Russo's like, well, bro, fire, lightning, superpowers, and Vince is just like, the fuck?
Do you think Vince accidentally shocked himself on a faulty light switch and thought, gimmick change?
I don't know how he accepted that this could be booked. Like, I get that he's, the characters are larger than life and, stuff like that, and I get that, but it's like, how could you book these guys even, like, in the 80s? It's like, where characters are supposed to be crazy. It's like, the Mountie versus the Undertaker. Wait a minute, one of them has superpowers, the other one is a Canadian man who lives in the mountains. I'm sorry, what? Well, yes, superpowers,
But here's the thing as well, if you had superpowers, it was an ODQ match. Why don't you just fucking fire it? Just fire a lightning bolt out the sky.
That's with that like Mountie versus Taker. It should be essentially like Taker versus Border Patrol. Taker's stuck in Canada.
Oh, dearie.
Right task.
Fuck's sake.
Loses at Mania that way.
I don't mind it. I will suspend my disbelief.
Yeah.
It's like the epitome of crazy booking in wrestling, really. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever, but fuck it, we'll do it anyway.
Yeah.
It'll be so over the top, it's cool. It's like Rocky Raccoon. It's fine.
Standard. So yeah, Pete Rose comes out as a special guest ring announcer.
Oh, God.
Turns heel on the Boston crowd, making fun of their shortcomings in baseball.
Yeah, it was a cheap heelish promo from Rose. ... Someone's going to kill him.
To be fair, nobody outside of that stadium understands what the fuck he's on about.
Well, this is it. So you got this promo. You've got all this momentum. You've got, shit, this is going to be awesome, this match. Then Pete Rose comes out and takes all the steam out of the moment.
Yeah.
The problem is,
like a fucking cunt.
Over here at the time, like, baseball, like, you'd have to have, like, friggin' multiple Sky Sports TV package or whatever to be able to even see, like, a game. Never mind know what was going on in baseball.
Mm.
I wouldn't mind, but you can't watch it now because it's that boring.
No, I just mean to be able to actually know what he's going on about. Like, if you had it on pay-per-view over here or something at the time. Or even if you're watching on a home video at the time, like, no idea what he's on about. Baseball.
This is it.
So, yeah, Kane comes out, tombstones him. Pretty much a running gag for the next few Manias.
Yeah.
But I didn't get this. I had a problem with this. I had a huge problem with this because, Kane, obviously I put down, Kane comes out, And I also put as well, original Kane is easily the best Kane.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
It goes downhill after the year 2000.
It goes downhill after this match.
Yeah. Then obviously at this point, while he's in the ring with Pete Rose, he's got an absolutely awesome presence in the ring at this point. But then obviously predictably Pete Rose gets tombstoned or killed, or gets predictably killed by thing. But I've put in capital letters genius as in sarcasm. And the reason I have a problem with this is would have made a lot more sense for Undertaker to come out first and attack Pete Rose. Especially if you're going to take him out with a tombstone pile driver. Having Kane attack and get the face-style pop puts his heel momentum at risk, which certainly is not worth it, especially at WrestleMania.
And I 100% agree. Kane is the heel.
Yeah.
So Pete Rose comes out and cuts a heel promo and gets attacked by a heel. Don't work. Bad booking.
It's really bad because it potentially takes the whole steam out of his character, and then essentially you've got two baby faces fighting against each other. And why are you fighting? If you're both baby faces, you're both brothers. Why are you not teaming up?
Yeah.
At this point, so it's dumb, utterly dumb.
It's unfortunate because I actually kind of had high hopes for this match. Like I started watching wrestling way after this, but going on from there, like Kane actually seemed like a bit of a threat, like in that promo package and stuff like that, and especially when the match starts and it's like, it's not that I wouldn't say it was like a super fast pace or anything. It was just, Taker tries to get the upper hand, Kane no sells, Kane's in control, Taker tries to fight back, chokeslam, 1, 2. And Kane stops covering him. Wait a minute, what? Kane won. Kane could have. Kane, obviously kayfabe, but Kane had the match won in like 2 minutes and decided not to pin him. Wait, what? Just win the fucking match. Bullshit.
Just to cut back to the start. This is also the Mania where the Druids make their debut.
Yep.
The entrance.
Oh, yeah.
It's first Ministry Take appearance as well.
But you also get like the famous stare down, which we've seen on God knows how many different promos and the program starts, all that sort of shit. But no doubt from what I remember, if it's because he goes for like the cover and then does the whole pull him up like confident. Oh, I've got him beat, but fuck it, I'll inflict more pain. I think it's just meant to like build up into the storyline, like.
I know what you're saying. I understand why you're thinking that. It is. He wants to punish him. He doesn't want to beat him. He wants to like hurt him and then beat him. But why don't you just win the match and then attack him after the match like every heel does on every single SmackDown?
Or why bother covering him?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, at the end of the day, win the match, so then you've done one of the things that you set out to do, and then you can just beat him down with a chair and you've got no worry about not winning the match, innit?
Yeah, that would make sense. Tell you what else that made sense as well, what you brought up just before, was Kane no-selling.
Yeah, which was cool.
It fitted in his character, and I put in my notes as well, look, Willie Seagull, no sells that make sense. If you use your brain, you'll know who Willie Seagull is.
Oh, I do.
But, the pace of the match as well, again, like, talking about things that made sense, it was slow.
Yeah.
And it made sense because of the guys that were in the match, but at the same time, because of the guys that you knew who they were supposed to be mirror images of each other. And the way they went about themselves in the match made sense that way, because if you look back in the last 6 matches, Taker was like a slow, methodical sort of pace at times, especially going back to his very, very early matches. And the next thing you know, he'll just throw out a flying clothesline out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And Kane did exactly that. Doing like the slow, methodical sort of, heavy hitting sort of like, clubs and clotheslines. And the next thing you know, flying clothesline out of fucking nowhere, off the top rope, all sorts.
Yeah.
He's capable of doing that, just like Undertaker is. Which again builds on the story of them being each other's equal and being like obviously related. They're capable of essentially the same sort of offense and the same sort of damage potential.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It does make sense, and it does fit into the characters of both of them, really, to an extent. But I don't know.
I think with this one, because both Kane and Taker had that air of presence about them, and you can't really not have Kane no-selling if he's going to be doing all the fucking lightning and all that sort of shit.
Yeah.
And it sort of factors in toward the end of the match. We won't cover that just yet. But yeah, I see what you mean in terms of like the mirror, like similar moves and stuff.
Mm.
Yeah, the big difference is Taker does a tombstone, Kane does a chokeslam. That's basically your difference, isn't it, really? They both do the flying clothesline at this point. It's power-based moves.
Yeah. I'm going to say, if you look further on into the career, they both even end up doing the last ride.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, Kane less so, but...
Yeah. One thing I would note is I actually think Kane's punches are better than Taker's as well. Like, I know later on, it's not happened as of yet, but later on, the best pure striker in the WWE. Bullshit.
Kane's throat thrusts were better.
Yes.
For that quote, he's coming up in like about two matches.
Yeah.
Where's my camera? Soup bones.
Oh.
Somebody even did the quotation fingers there. Soup bones.
Yeah, it's bullshit. Fucking well annoying.
So.
No. Oh, God.
Well, I was going to say also, from noting on this match in my notes, I think this is probably the first Mania match where Taker doesn't do the whole thing where he goes over the rope and lands on his feet.
Yeah, I noticed that as well. But what would have made? Do you know what would have been better if Kane did it?
True. I don't think there was an old school in this match.
I don't think there was either. I'm just looking through my notes very, very quickly, but I do not see the words old and school put together.
No. Good.
There is a bit of agility shown from Taker though, where he hits the ropes. He jumps, leaps onto Kane's shoulders. Sort of that thing like, what the fuck's he gonna do? But then Kane just sort of slams him down.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Was this match was it no DQ though, or was it standard?
No.
It was a standard match.
It was a standard match because Kane starts like destroying the announce table, and I have no idea why.
Well, there's like the whole bit of the ring steps, like about halfway through the match, where he puts like Kane sandwiches Taker on the ring steps.
It's like, again, you got the old thing you can get out of it. If it's no DQ, it's referee discretion.
Yeah.
There is that. So, there's a way around it, I suppose. Obviously, the referee wanted to let it go because obviously it was like a blood feud, X, Y, and Z. So you could say that.
Maybe it was no DQ and it just doesn't mention that it's no DQ. It could be one of them where they never, the commentary doesn't pick up on it.
Yeah, there is possibility of that.
But, So we're moving to the finish?
Yeah.
Can do.
So they go through the announce table. Kane gets Taker back inside. Taker hits the ropes, ducks the clothesline, and goes for Tombstone, but Kane reverses it into his own, but only that's 2. Taker line the choke slam.
Yep.
And Tombstone connects for Taker, but Kane kicks out at 2. Leg drop from Taker, another Tombstone, but Kane's again out at 2.
Yeah, just while I remember on the Tombstones, obviously Kane kicking out of the Tombstone was the first time someone apparently kicked out of the Tombstone.
Did say that on commentary.
Yeah.
Taker goes to the top rope and delivers a flying clothesline, and then hits a third Tombstone, which gets the 3 count at 17:05.
But if you notice as well, Kane kicks out straight after the 3.
Yeah.
Like with pretty much both Tombstones, he goes to cover and whatever, and he pretty much just gets straight back up.
Yeah.
And then on the third one, kicks out.
Yeah, to be fair though, I don't mind that because it made Kane look strong, which
yes, it did.
Was kind of the point. Like, if you weren't going to have Kane win this match, which they clearly weren't, they had to make him look strong because at the end of the day, we've so far built him up to a no-selling, murdering, setting people on fire demon from hell. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's going to take a lot to put him down, which they did.
And it looked
successful in it.
In the story of the match, they literally did just enough to put him down long enough to get the 3 count.
Yeah, and run away.
Yeah.
But there's no way he should have won this.
It's as I noted, I sort of put down there's a really good big man match here. Bit slow in the middle, but they did a good job of getting Kane over to Monster and a serious threat to Taker, whilst keeping Taker's invincibility alive.
Yeah, no, they do. They do, and like you say, it was a bit slow in the middle, but the end is pretty good. To be fair, a lot of action, a lot happened in the end. But there's no way on earth he should have been booked to win this. No way on earth.
I think if they were to book it the way they did, I think they booked it the right. I personally think if the way they booked it, obviously they had that result in mind. That was probably the best way to get that result that they possibly could have put up. I mean, in summary, I put this match was booked brilliantly. While not the most action-packed match, it made both guys look as strong as each other, even man able to win, and each their equal, which was the basis of their storyline.
Yeah,
Kane went on to be one of the main guys on the roster thanks to matches like this.
I know what you're saying. Like, but you know, and I'm not saying that I think the match is booked bad. I don't. I do think they did a good job with the match, but I just think that to me it made more sense if Kane won. Now that's not to say that's you know, maybe that's part of me being a bit biased, but. Because I don't particularly like The Undertaker. But I don't know, I just think that the way that you've brought him in, the way that you've built him up, you know, as this undefeatable, unkillable monster type of thing. You know, it's like, it almost like stops his momentum. I'm not saying dead, but it's just kind of like, it's like if a train ran into a wall.
Or a sleeping policeman in the road.
Yeah, and it's just a bit like, yeah. And then they'll spend like the next several months trying to act like it didn't happen, and he'll get beat again and again, and it'll be like, oh, well, yeah, that was kind of shit, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I can see where you're coming from that. I mean, it's one of these matches where they could have got a similar result no matter what way the match went, storyline wise. So it wouldn't. If Undertaker did lose, it wouldn't need much. The storyline, what went on from there, wouldn't be much different from what it would have been if Taker did lose.
No.
So I can see where you're coming from. It was a very, very he could have gone either way sort of match, and it wouldn't have really mattered. I wouldn't be shocked if the call was made on the day. it would be that kind of match.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can see where you're coming from about that.
What did you think, Coxy?
I can't remember if it carried on afterward or not. But it's like, for me, it should have, like, if Taker won here, it should have had a follow up at the next pay per view or something where Kane won.
Yeah.
And then maybe carry it on to a third match at like SummerSlam or whatever, and build it up.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Nowadays. So, but yeah, I liked Kane around this time because especially this match, it got him over as a monster, like I said before, and it sort of powered him through to King of the Ring '98. We won the title from Austin, but
Yeah.
kind of shit on it because the fact he lost it like the night after on Raw.
Yeah.
So,
He did lose it the night after, and that was his only title run for like 20 years.
I think he did. I think he won Money in the Bank. He killed Rey Mysterio, didn't he? But other than that, yeah, that was pretty much his only heavyweight championship.
yeah. So after the match, Kane attacks and delivers a tombstone on a steel chair.
Huh. See, again, that's my point. If he'd pinned him at the beginning, when he had him down for the 3, he could have then just tombstoned him on a chair like he does at the end anyway, except he would have won. Yeah, there you go. You fucked up, kayfabe.
Yeah, absolutely.
But no,
Why not?
scores?
Again, I think it's a solid 3. Maybe 3.5.
See, I've actually given it a 2.5. Probably just a bit of a shorter length match. So, one of them.
Well, let's go 17:05. So
Not bad.
I'm gonna go with 3.
Yeah, because for me, you got to think as well. It's not just it was like the groundbreaking match of Kane's career.
Yeah, it does kind of set him up for life.
Exactly. So, and there's not a bad performance on either side really. So, the match wasn't booked badly. So I can't think why you'd give it less than 3. But at the end of the day, each to their own.
Yes, indeed. And now we're going to jump forward a year to the 28th of March, 1999. It's Wrestlemania 15 with The Undertaker versus the Big Boss Man.
Yay. Now, I heard rumours about this match. And they weren't good. And when I first obviously started watching the match, you got to put the pay-per-view on. Obviously, we're watching it on the network. In the description, the network does not even mention this match.
It does not, and it also didn't have time points.
Yeah, that was annoying.
It's the only WrestleMania so far I've found that doesn't have time points.
Well, I've been watching all these on a tablet to do these, and there are no time points on any of them.
Oh, well,
I
sucks
started
to be you.
Yeah.
watching on PS4 and it has time points. And I'm trying to watch one on my Roku stick. It's like there's no time points. Fuck.
Yeah.
PS4 is.
You go backwards and forwards over the pay-per-view to find the start of the match. Yeah, it's not fun.
I went on Wikipedia and was like looking at how long the match was. So I was like, right, it's probably around this point in the pay-per-view. And I managed to just catch the end of the previous match.
Yeah, that's what I tend to do, and then watch it from there.
So yeah, this match was essentially during the Ministry Corporation feud.
Yeah.
Essentially heel versus heel.
It was heel versus heel, yes.
So,
but one was more heely than the other.
Yeah. It's the first street match to have the scratch logo. I'm looking for the first of anything, and it was the first. Obviously, it was the first match where the scratch logo was used as opposed to the old school
And first Hell in the Cell at Mania.
It was.
Yeah.
But then we had heel Taker going for McMahon in another great promo. Even if Bossman wasn't in much of it.
Well, the thing is, the Bossman is just he serves his purpose, as in he is basically he's Vince McMahon's bodyguard. That is pretty much his gimmick.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that he would be sent out as the minion to fight the Undertaker, so that Vince doesn't have to, because well, Vince is like Mr. Burns.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, we can't forget the Undertaker kidnapping Vince McMahon's daughter so he could marry her even though she's a child.
I was about to say that one of the best points, although balls, that comes at, it's actually Backlash, I think, leading up to that. So where she gets in the limo. Where to, Stephanie?
Oh yeah, no, that's after this, isn't it?
So that happened in Backlash. I thought it was like a random episode of Raw or something, but so one of the best ends ever.
Yeah, it was so ridiculous though. I'm going to kidnap your daughter and I'm going to marry her. But why? I don't know. I'm just doing it because you're my boss. What? We have no reason for these storylines. Heels fight heels because I say so.
And then it was Vince behind it all along.
Yeah, and then it was Vince behind it. So Vince got The Undertaker to kidnap his wife and kill his head of security because... Wait, what?
His daughter.
Sorry, kidnap his daughter, yeah. Kidnap his daughter, terrify his wife, and kill his head of security.
Yeah,
What?
As you do.
What? Why?
You think that's maybe why he got him back a few years later, bringing DDP in as a stalker?
Yeah, probably.
Fucking hell.
Secret into 20 storylines.
Yeah. That was the unfortunate part of DDP's run.
Jesus.
Yeah, I didn't like this match.
No. Bossman comes out to no reaction.
Yeah.
Because nobody thinks he has a chance. Everybody just thinks, oh, you're getting jobbed.
Mm.
You are the jobber.
Well, they think he doesn't have a chance. It's they know he doesn't have a chance.
Yeah, absolutely pointless. You might as well send out a fucking Crash Holly.
Yeah, it was
Pants.
It was pants.
Well, it's pretty much going through the motions up to the point where Bossman tries cuffing Taker to the cell.
Yeah.
But then Taker drops to his arse and the cuffs break anyway.
I know, which looked so bad.
Most of this match was bad.
It was awful. I wouldn't mind, but the Big Boss Man isn't that bad as like a wrestler. But like Taker's the leader of the Ministry. He's supposed to be like the main event guy, and you've got him in this like random match in the middle of a pay-per-view against a scrub, a guy who fights for the hardcore title at best.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's a former like world champion against some guy who looks like we got him off the street. Jesus.
Let's go for the name. So we got Big Bubba, the Big Boss Man, the Guardian Angel.
Ron Trailer.
Yeah.
It was just crap. Oh, God.
It's hard to talk about.
It is, because at the end of the day, like, Bossman attacks Taker with a nightstick. Yeah, I'd expect him to, because it's probably the only chance he has, in the hopes that he gets one lucky shot off and busts him open hard way.
Mm.
And it's like, no, and he tries to cuff him, and they break, and everybody laughed, because it made them both look like bums. Taker does get busted open, but, of course, it's Taker, so I'm not selling Big Boss Man shit.
Yeah. It was the first time Taker got busted open at Mania as well, as far as I'm aware.
It's the first time Taker lost a shoe at WrestleMania.
Exactly. We're doing this shit. We are doing this shit.
I love it, Paul. Don't get me. I fucking love it.
We're doing this shit.
Wait for the next match. You'll be like, first time Taker took a shit at Mania.
Brilliant.
I thought he did that in this match. Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah, this match is a steaming turd.
Absolutely.
The only fortunate thing is it's relatively short.
Yeah, it's not long.
So yeah, pretty much going to the end. Taker goes for old school, but Bossman crotches him. Taker gets him with a low blow. Eventually, as the crowd starts to realise this is bullshit and turns on it.
Yeah.
Goes for Tombstone, Bossman counters. Taker throws and goes to the Tombstone and gets the victory at 9:47.
Yeah, kind of from out of nowhere, really. It was like, match is going along pretty slowly, not much happening. A Tombstone win. Okay.
But yeah,
that might be audible, maybe. Because the fact it was minutes, like less than 10 minutes, that might have been just an audible of like, just fuck it, just take it home.
Right. Oh, I can't argue with that because at the end of the day, the crowd was turning on them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they did not care and they did not believe the boss man.
No, it was a drizzling shits. It was a drizzling shits.
But then the aftermath happens.
Yeah. Oh.
So the match, the craziness continues as the Brood repel from the top of the arena, dropping a noose into the cell. Paul Bearer hits the button that raises the cell and hangs the boss man from the top of the arena. Bunkle's jizzing with joy.
It's not joy, it's like, why? Why?
It was fucking awful.
Well, it's like the Brood come down and drop the thing, like the noose in, but it's like, why did it take all three of them to rappel down to do this? It's like, why? And then they literally faff around with their wires, and then like Big Boss Man's getting shit. The fucking hang of the Big Boss Man. Oh shit. Yeah, he's selling that quite well. Oh, I can see the wire. Thank God. But I mean, imagine if you're in the arena. I bet it's quite difficult to actually see that wire. Oh, so yeah. You'd actually be sat there like, I've just watched the man get hung. Well, that's disturbing. Hey, Johnny, you're 10. How do you feel about this imagery? Exactly.
Actually wondering what, like, Bossman's... Oh, there you go, Paul. First time someone was hung at Mania.
Jesus.
Actually, one Bossman's like thoughts were going through his head at that point where you're sort of there like, right, I'll like just be here like looking unconscious. What do I do? Like, they get me down now. Shit, what's happening when I open my eyes?
Yeah.
Have I still got Bischoff's number on speed dial?
It's actually hard to watch. If you suspending your disbelief, you've just watched a murder. Do you know what I mean? That's what they're trying to say to you. You've just watched somebody get murdered. Literally murdered.
You just watched an execution.
Yeah. You've just watched a fat middle-aged man get executed for attempting to stop a man from stealing a girl. A young girl.
For doing his
job.
Come on!
For doing his job!
Oh, no.
Shit the bed. Fucking hell. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, and Michael Cole on commentary. Is this symbolic? No, he's dead, you fucking cunt. Is this symbolic, you fucking prick?
It's a symbol for things to come up. Where to, Stephanie? I'm just waiting.
Oh, sorry.
Someone needs to hack the network and put in that bit afterwards, that kid on The Simpsons where he's going, stop, he's already dead.
It's. I'm usually very good at suspending my disbelief, and that's how I can watch wrestling. You know, I'm normally I enjoy like the craziness in wrestling and stuff, but that was hard to watch. Like, even though I can see the wire, even though I know he's fine and probably was on Raw the next night, which I'd love to see how they fucking explained it when he returned.
The zombie.
The boss man has such a strong neck.
If it was me, I'd probably come out in like a neck brace. Just constantly hold it like it's going. Like, Uncle can see he's pissing himself off and that. Getting like wheeled out by fucking Ken Shamrock or something.
Getting wheeled out by Linda. He's got on a secret love triangle.
They could have done like a whole bit with it where they have like him and Ken Shamrock's wheeling around. And he's like, Ken, I got to the bathroom. And he's like, I'm not helping you. Attitude there of like Russo going, bro, you're gonna go to the bathroom, and Ken's not gonna help you, so you're gonna shit yourself, bro.
It's unfortunate. That's how I actually think they might have gone with that. What I would have preferred is if they put him in basically if they put him in a bunch of makeup to make him look like a zombie, and had him walk out to the ring like a fucking zombie from then on. I think that would have been brilliant. He is dead. He's an undead. Oh my god, he's the Undertaker from 10 years ago. And literally do the old Undertaker gimmick.
Yeah, that would be fucking amazing, let's be fair.
The power of the urn.
Yeah, fuck it. Bear is still walking around with the urn. It's like, I've got 2 urns, motherfuckers.
One in each hand.
One in each hand, or he keeps holding them up to his chest like boobs.
Yeah.
Oh, yes! Fucking hell.
Oh, dear me.
Out of coffins or whatever.
One.
I mean, I've put very meh match, second worst so far after Gonzalez. The rumours I heard were true and the match was awful. The match itself did not require the Hell in the Cell and was only there to set up the crap hanging spot at the end of the match. The match was a dud and felt like a thrown together match to get Undertaker on the card.
You two are generous. I gave it like half.
Yeah, I felt like I was generous with that, but I gave it a 1. I think I gave Snooker a 1, so...
He's looking. He's consulting.
I am consulting. Hang on. It's the wrong piece of paper. Fuck's sake. Oh, hang on. Wait. Oh no, I gave Snooker 0. So yeah, maybe I was a bit. Well, no, I gave Jake 1. So yeah, this gets a 1. Actually, no, this might be worse than Jake. No, I'm sticking with my original result. I have to give it a 1, just because I'm guessing it was something I was never seen before. You know, the death of a man.
Well,
was it symbolic? Fuck knows.
To me.
I'm going to make a quick note of something Bunkle said for a future topic.
Is it symbolic?
Yeah. Symbolic moments in wrestling that aren't really symbolic.
That's a good one, actually.
I'm joking.
Yeah.
Are you joking? I was going to go look up whenever Michael Cole said that it says symbolic on the fucking network.
Just tap in the symbolic and see what comes up.
Every episode of SmackDown from the year 2000 to the year 2003. What? Oh my god, JBL, is this symbolic? I don't know, I'm wrestling, you fucking prick.
Oh dear. Right, so let's jump ahead to April Fool's Day 2001 because Taker missed 16 due to an injury.
Yeah. And that's the last Mania he's missed to date.
Oh god.
So
Until this year. He's
Yeah.
not coming back this year.
No.
Yeah.
No, don't say yet.
Rumours. So yeah, April 1st, 2001. It's The Undertaker versus Triple H.
Versus Badass.
Yeah, first Badass Taker. Is it the first one on the bike?
Yeah, the first one on the bike where he has a mode of transport. Yeah.
No, he had the chariot.
Oh yes,
at 9.
I forget. But
He blocked it out.
Yeah, I blocked that one out. Yeah, that's true. Post-traumatic stress disorder. But it's also the first WrestleMania match where Undertaker wrestles a member of the Clique. Oh no, it's not. He wrestled Diesel. Take that back.
It's the first time when he's wrestled somebody who had a live entrance.
Yes, this is true.
Oh, Motorhead, we're gonna kick your ass. We don't know the lyrics.
Because they suck.
Yeah.
Well, at least at WrestleMania they did.
But this match had one of my favourite commentary teams of all time, Heyman and Ross.
Yeah, always the best commentary team of all time,
Yeah.
hands down. There is no argument.
It's worth, if you could just shut your eyes and just listen to the commentary, it's worth it alone.
Yeah. They are the best because they hate each other.
Yeah. That's why it worked.
Yeah.
That's why it worked.
So the story leading into the match, Trips has beaten everyone in the business apart from Undertaker.
That's a good story though. That is a good story. That is, I am the best in the world. I've beaten everybody. Well, you've not beaten me, boy. That is really good. That's the old horse telling the young horse, fuck off, get off my turf, bitch. Sorry, dog, because he's the big dog in his yard.
Yeah, all the Roman Reigns terminology.
Had he brought in the yard at this point? I thought that was later on. The yard came in.
Well, yeah, I don't think he'd started calling it that then, but I was using the metaphor.
What you mean, yeah.
I was just using the metaphor.
But he did use his yard not long after this. So.
Was this when he was still going like the whole American band? This was before Rolling, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think Rolling was here on this, wasn't it?
Was Rolling on this one? Rolling might have been on this one. I think it was. This was the time when it was still like the flannel shirt, like the jean shirt thing.
Denim shirt.
Yeah.
Denim
shirt, denim jean. But you know what I mean. But I think it was. I really like this match.
Yeah, we've gone over this before.
We have.
When we covered WrestleMania 17.
Which, if you haven't listened to our episode about WrestleMania 17, check it out. It's a really good one.
Yeah, it was. Taker was out to Rolling. And I put, in my opinion, a very underrated version of The Undertaker.
Yeah, I was thinking about this the other day. When we set ourselves this mission, shall we say, I was trying to think about, my favourite Undertaker. What was the Undertaker that I enjoyed watching the most? And I wasn't there to watch the majority the 80s, early 90s stuff. That was a bit before our time, really, where you could get into wrestling. But Ministry Taker, a little bit too weird for me. I just think Badass Taker is the Taker I like the best. I don't like the name Bugger Red, but I think
nobody knows the meaning to.
No, unless you look it up. But it's not for me. It is, I think it is the best Taker. It's the most believable Taker. He's a motorcycle gang leader, whatever. Okay, I can buy that. I can buy that they would call him the Undertaker as a code name. It kind of makes sense to me. And he was having better matches, longer matches.
A more varied moveset as well.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he doesn't do it for very long. It's my only issue. Because then, as we'll come on to, by we'll get maybe 4 years of this, and then he goes to that weird in-between Taker that I don't like and don't understand.
Was that the Big Evil? Or Dead Man? Yeah, it was Big Evil, wasn't it, I think?
It was the one where he came out like the old Undertaker. He started coming out like the old Undertaker did, but dressed like Big Evil with like the leather pants and the big, not Big Evil, dressed like the American Badass Taker with the MMA gloves on and stuff. And it was like, yeah, well, the Undertaker wouldn't really come out dressed like that, would he? But,
see, around sort of WrestleMania 20.
Yeah.
After that, I think. He had a hiatus, didn't he? Disappeared. And
yeah, so, it's just one of the things that I have to note.
Yeah, just what I found here, Taker came to the ring, he used American Badass for only 6 months, and debuted rolling. So, he came back at Judgment Day 2000, so yeah, he probably was using rolling at this point. 7.
But yeah, definitely out to rolling, 100%.
Yeah. Well, no, I think Taker goes right after Triple H pretty quick. Yeah. Triple H, I would say overselling a bit, maybe?
Yeah, Spanish announce table lasts about 10 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, Taker was all over him, really. It was at the beginning, which was quite good. Until he goes for old school and gets countered, because that's what happens almost every time he goes for old school. But yeah, I think both guys would, they had a reason to want to win, and it was, it's the standard I'm better than you, no, I'm better than you, and there's no better story than that to me.
Hunter does go for a sledgehammer early on, but Mike Chioda Taker gets a choke slam, but Trips kicks out, so Taker kills the referee.
Yeah. Taker's a tweener at this point, though, really.
Yeah, the entire badass sort of persona was always tweener. It was never heel, it was never face. That's at least my
it could flip depending upon who he was facing.
And he was never a bad loser unless you were Maven.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
The character kind of grows as it go along and does become, I guess you would call it, a bad loser at points. He does, he does start attacking not just refs but like people after the match and stuff like that, or just we're 1 year away from the Ric Flair feud where he attacks his son in a shower.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Come on, get him, Rick.
Yeah. But no, it was a good match. It was a good back and forth. There was a lot of outside brawling. They went into the tech area in the crowd, which I've still, to this day, have not seen anybody else do.
Mm.
So it was quite unique.
You get a massive choke slam off it as well.
Oh yeah, choke slam off the scaffold, which has got holy shit chance.
Yeah.
Nice to see, like seeing Triple H to take big bumps and hurt himself.
And take an elbow.
Takes an elbow, but the actual note for this spot was elbow dropped by Taker onto Trips. Trips is now deceased.
Matt Chioda was still deceased because they go back to the ring and Matt Chioda is still down.
Yeah, I've put later on that ref is asleep and dreaming.
There must be nothing better than being a ref. You can imagine how good it is to be a ref in the WWE. You get paid a fortune, and half the time you're on your flat on your face in the middle of the ring, just like having a bit of a daydream. Yeah. Oh, it's not too bad, this. I just got to watch out for, the...
Unless your name's Paul White. Is it Paul? Not Paul White. It's... what's that referee that did the spots in the mid-2000s?
Oh, Timmy White, or Tim White, or whatever it was.
Yeah, Tim White, where he took that fucking huge spot, that huge bump off the Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, well, fuck him.
Yeah.
Well, you know...
Fast forward to like 2003 with him, and they keep showing him trying to kill himself.
Yeah.
Oh. At least he got paid for it.
Yeah, this is true.
But no,
yeah, Taker goes for the sledgehammer, but Triple H uses a low blow.
Yep.
Goes for tombstone, but Taker counters into his own.
Yeah.
Kyoda still down, and Brownlee starts to come round.
Oh, yeah. Taker goes for the last ride, and Triple H has the hammer, and he bops him when he gets him up. Which is gross, but I like that spot.
No.
I think that was a really good spot.
The sound it makes is going to send chills down my spine until it hits. When he does it, yeah, well, when he does similar with fucking Shawn Michaels.
Yeah. But I think it set up such a good moment when he kicks out at 2, because Trips goes for the pin, the ref's up somehow, and he kicks out at 2, the crowd goes fucking mental.
Yeah.
And it was like, yeah, that was a fucking good spot. That was good. You know.
I agree.
Taker blades. Triple H has a little bit of offense. Last ride 3 count. It was like, yeah, loved it.
Finish out of nowhere as well.
It was. It finished out of nowhere, but it was a really, really hard-hitting, good back and forth match.
Yeah,
as well.
I agree.
Two of the guys in their prime. Really, it made Taker look great. It made Trips look great, and like he'd try anything to win. What's most annoying is they ignore this match from now on. Like when he starts doing like the fights with Trips and stuff, they just ignore it.
Like it never happened.
It's criminal because it is the best streak matches, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's better than any of the other Triple H matches.
Absolutely.
Way better.
And so I put good match, great action. Wasn't really a dull moment in this match. So much so, this felt shorter than the Bossman match. Even this was almost twice as long. Probably the best street match so far.
Yeah, you're into it from the first second.
Yeah, agreed. There's no slow moments at all. There's not even any build. It's just straight into shit hot action.
It had a decent build, I thought, going into it though.
It did. Like you said, that story of I just need to be better than you. What more do you need?
Yeah.
Taker gets the win in 18 minutes 17 seconds.
Yeah, didn't feel like that long.
No, fantastic.
Yeah, enjoyed it. 100% enjoyed it. I'd say that was a 4 casketer.
Yeah, I got 4 caskets as well.
4s all round.
Absolutely. 100% agreed.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Sweet. Right, so we'll jump ahead to St. Patrick's Day 2000. It's WrestleMania 18. I pick.
Yeah. So we have covered this as well.
Find on our feed. Check it out.
Yeah.
Definitely do.
It's The Undertaker versus Ric Flair.
Yeah. And it's a first, I'll put first no DQ for Taker at Mania. So either I missed a no DQ for Sid, or Sid was just a legit match and it was referee discretion like we discussed before.
If you got the first ball, it's Taker's first Mania in Canada.
Ah, there you go. Yeah.
Taker essentially baits Flair into this match by beating up Arn Anderson and his own son.
Lovely.
You could say it's Taker's first WrestleMania against the guy who can collect his pension.
This is true. From what I researched, the story of this match is that also it leads to the brand extension as well.
It is. Because the whole thing with Flair coming in is that he bought half of the WWE from Vince's kids.
Yeah.
But no, to be fair, I like the build up to this match. I like the whole idea. You know that. I mean, I can't remember what the exact reason was that Taker decided to target Ric Flair. I don't know if he refused to book him in a match or something. But he basically is taking, like, Ric Flair the whole time's like, no, I'm not fighting you. I'm not a combatant anymore. You know, I'm not a wrestler anymore. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I can't do it. Until he's like, well, I'm going to make you do it. And until you do, I'm going to make you pay. So, yeah, beats up Arn Anderson, who they keep referring to as a disabled man. And beats up David Flair as well, who's like 15 years Taker's junior.
Well, from what I've just quickly said now, it says Undertaker ambushed The Rock during No Way Out, or the build-up to No Way Out. Flair detested Undertaker's actions, and then Flair interfered in Undertaker's match against The Rock.
Right.
Undertaker challenged Flair for Mania, but then Flair refused. He's like, I'm no longer a wrestler. So that's when he starts going after bloody Arn Anderson and that.
Yeah. Oh, it makes sense then. Like, let's say if he's interrupted in, interfered in his match and cost him the belt type of thing. He is going to want revenge.
Yeah.
But I'd like the one thing that they keep pointing out about this match is it's not a wrestling match. It's going to be a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Ric Flair isn't coming out there to wrestle him and woo and stuff like that. Ric Flair this man's attacked his son. He's attacked his best friend. He's basically forced his hand and he feels like he has nothing else. He has to give in. Mm-hmm. He has to fight him because it's the only way to stop him, doing these despicable things and attacking his family and stuff like that. And I bought into Flair's emotion, really, for it. I was like, yeah, this is a fight. This is something that you would do. Yeah, you have no option. You have to win this. You have to, you have to stand your ground at this moment. Otherwise, you're his bitch forever.
And it's sold in the entrance of Ric Flair, where he's obviously normally in a Ric Flair match, you obviously will get the pomps and circumstance.
Yeah.
He comes into the ring, he does all these like little thing with the robe and shit like that. But before he even gets to the ring, the robe's coming off and he's already pacing and running into the ring.
Yeah.
It's
Flair
all
goes
business.
Straight for him.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, you would, because he can't afford to, it's not a game. He can't afford to back off. This guy's like, this guy's a monster, really, compared to Ric Flair. Ric Flair's a 60-year-old man. This guy's 6'10", 310 pounds of, American badass, as his build, a bugger red. Ric Flair's 6 years old. He's not been an active wrestler for so many years. He's got to go for it. It's his only option, and I fucking loved it.
Fucking bugger red.
Fucking bugger red.
When, like I say, Flair assaults Taker, goes to the outside and just over the announce tables, and Taker sells like a boss.
He does. This is Taker's best job of selling.
Yeah.
I really think it is. He does. Sorry,
mate. So Flair's all over him.
Yeah.
At the beginning of this match.
Flair's. It seems to the point Flair is no selling.
Mm-hmm.
Flair's no selling stuff. He just knows he can't afford to let off. He can't afford to do it.
Yeah.
If anything, he's selling the fact that he's enraged.
Yeah.
And he's that enraged he can't feel the pain.
Yeah. It's really, really good psychology. Really good. And, and Taker selling it like shit, I wasn't expecting it, type of thing. And he just wasn't ready for this.
You can see it rattles him. It looks like it rattles him.
Yeah, he thought it was going to be a walkover, which he would.
I think it's like you said, it was Taker that wanted the match in the first place.
Yeah, but Taker thought it was a powder puff match, though, didn't he?
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's sort of like Taker wanted the match, but then Flair's come in like he's just down the fucking Smirnoff Ice. He had a smell of ice and a Four Loko, like, done a line of coke and gone, right, let's go.
Yeah, but it's fucking brilliant. And I mean, to the point where, I mean, we're not even that far in the match, but Flair comes off the apron, gets caught and smashed into the ring post. And it was like, yeah, that would stop him. That would, you know what I mean? That's like a, you know, just for the beginning of the match, showing Flair's emotion and how amped up Flair is and how much he feels like he needs this. Yeah. And then to take a resort into something like that to stop him, you know, to stop him in his tracks and get a breather type of thing. I thought it was extremely well done. Really, really well done. I fucking love this match.
Yeah, I can't really add more to that. I think you've like.
I mean, I was just talking about like the first couple of minutes, but I love it.
Well, to be fair, there is the bit. He's like, Flair gets a chop in, but then gets caught with a right hand mid-woo.
Yeah.
Fires him into the corner for the Flair flip, but he can't get over, so they repeat it.
Yeah, there is that.
Gets over and just runs into a boot. It's like, pretty decent spot, that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. But I mean, again, you can forgive some of it. Like, Flair blades so quickly.
And deeply as well.
Yeah. I mean, I pretty much ignored the commentary, I'll be fair, because I do get sucked in a little bit.
Well, all if you really listen out on commentary is JL lets everyone know that Flair isn't in the prime of his career and that he's north of 50.
Yeah, well, I say, but yeah, to be fair, that's a good piece of commentary. That's putting forward how much of an underdog Flair actually is. You know what I mean? And to be seeing Flair the way that he is and trying to put up this fight, how much desire he must have and to do that type of thing. But the blood coming off Flair, I fucking love it with Flair blades. It's sick every time. It just gets in his hair. It's everywhere.
It gets everywhere as well. There was like a spot where with Flair's obviously doing chops in the corner, and then Taker fights back, and next thing you know, you look at the camera angle, and there's blood all over the lens of the camera.
Yeah.
Coming from Flair's head. It's like, Jesus Christ. I mean, what's he done? Fucking sliced an artery or something?
Okay.
Yeah.
Either that, he's had a paracetamol before or whatever, an aspirin.
Yeah. But it was blood everywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, superplex by Taker.
Oh yeah.
Count, he pulls him up to continue the beating.
Yeah. Which made sense as well, because that's all Taker wants. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he just wants to beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And he pretty much just continues to beat on Flair and pull him up at every count.
Yeah, I mean, Flair's not putting any offence in at the minute, is he?
So the only other thing I've put to note is King's commentary is awful. But
yeah.
I'm assuming that's standard Jerry the King coming out with something about, Flair being old.
Well, it's also the point. Lola point blank asks JR what a bugger red is, but we don't get an answer.
Because nobody fucking knows. If you look it up, it's just southern slang for boogeyman. Right, okay. So say that then.
Taker goes for old school.
Yeah.
Flair fights back.
Yep. The two chops counted into a sidewalk slam.
Yeah, I say Flair doesn't actually really do any moves in this match. He is just punches and chops.
But that's a sign of a desperate man, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah.
What that set again helps sell his.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It really is.
At this point, though, I think Taker goes for the pin after the sidewalk slam, and Taker gets frustrated that Flair kicks out. And then goes to grab Flair goes to grab the lead pipe off Taker's bike.
He nails Taker, busting him open.
Yeah, he does.
So.
Flair gets like a sign, I assume from near like ring area. But Taker gets a choke slam.
Yeah.
Which ends up with, but then Flair gets the low blow in the figure four for 2, because you get pinfalls during the figure four, of course.
Absolutely.
The one move that Flair does is his finisher out of desperation. That's the one what you'll call actual wrestling move that he does, and it is purely because he has got nothing left.
Absolutely.
Love it. Choke slam by Taker, 2, and Taker kills Little Nate.
Yep. Ref death.
Ref death. Arm pops up with a spine buster, which again I think that was really cool. Like just a nice little tribute in there.
Yeah.
You know? But again, it only gets 2, and Taker kills Arn, who bleeds. From what I'm assuming he bladed because he was one punch.
And locks in the Dragon Sleeper.
Oh, I hate that. That's a sick looking move. The Dragon Sleeper. Oh, and JR on commentary, like, he's got a surgically repaired neck, god damn it. Like, oh no, don't tell me about how he's disabled again.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he does, of course, because got to bring up the big up the brutality there.
You can see chair by Flair.
Yeah, big boot.
Big boot by Taker. Then Taker goes for the last ride, but it's botched.
Yeah.
Twice. So instead goes for a tombstone.
Yeah. I have always thought it should end with a tombstone anyway.
Yeah.
I know he ended like the last match with the last ride. Yeah.
Yeah, 17.
But the last ride was never. Don't get me wrong, it was over, and it did look pretty good. But you got to think about your opponent here. The guy is an old man. He's been out here for 18 fucking minutes, pissing blood for fucking 17 of them because he's Ric Flair. You know what I mean? You've got to bring back your expectations there, lad.
It's problem I have with that is it's like mid card you've got a fucking bright red patch of Ric Flair's blood on the mat where you got like another 5-6 matches to go or whatever.
Yeah.
I still don't have a problem with that. It should look like there's been a war in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I suppose.
It's like like in the UFC. If the very first match of the night on the prelims that nobody watches is horrific and bloody, they'll go back and fucking watch it.
Yeah.
Because you see how much blood's in the ring. I'd rather see that than a fucking decision. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a fair point.
Yeah. Taker gets the win in 1845. So.
Yeah. I again can't say enough about how much I enjoyed this match.
I preferred 17 with Hunter rather than Flair. I wasn't overly keen on this match as much.
Don't get me wrong, I did prefer the Triple H match from 17. I do prefer it, but I just think that it's just because it's booked exactly how it should be booked. They could quite easily have tried to make this into a wrestling match, which would have been shit. Because there's no way on earth that Ric Flair is doing wrestling moves in there with a guy half his age, twice his size, and who's beat the shit out of his son and best friend. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I get the story and the psychology behind how the match was done.
But that's what appeals to me so much about this match, because you don't see matches like that. It doesn't happen, and this time not only did it happen, it was fucking great.
Yeah. Because
they booked it right after it. So.
This is also the match, I think, as Paul first noted to me, where Taker gets on his bike to leave and starts counting on the fingers.
Yeah, it is, yeah. He does the 10 on the fingers. So it's almost like the first time that Taker's actually acknowledged the streak himself.
So, any more thoughts, Paul? Paul's gone. Let's get him back in.
Hello. I lost my signal.
Ah.
I don't know what happened.
Neither do I. I was just asking you had any more thoughts on Flair Taker.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I didn't really know what to think of this match. I mean, parts of it I thought were great. Part of it, so I was like, meh. But like I say, no real spot sticks out as to say like it was a WrestleMania sort of like moment, sort of thing. So, but yeah, it was okay. I mean, I didn't enjoy it as much as the last match, but
Yeah, that's
right.
what we both said basically.
But I did say due to this, we can obviously even Taker's now acknowledging the fact that it was the end of this match that Taker used, counted down the wins on his hands.
We just noted that, and I was there thinking, Paul's gone quiet, and then it's like, oh, he's gone, he's been disconnected. So
yeah, I got disconnected because my computer's fantastic. Even Taker's acknowledging it now, so for me, it's officially at this point become a thing. So now, obviously, I think the streak's officially sort of like being acknowledged.
Mm.
Yeah, that's what we said. It's noted. It's like it's the first time he's actually acknowledged it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I'll go with. And have you given it caskets yet?
No.
Oh, not yet.
So for caskets, I would give this. I'd give this a 3 because the action was all right.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with 3 as well.
See, I gave it a 4. Though I said that I didn't quite enjoy it as much as I did the last match. I just think it's perfectly done. I don't think that you could book this match any other way and make it believable. I think this was the perfect booking of this type of match that should be a fight.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So
I'm just going by purely by the fact that I didn't enjoy it as much as the other match.
Yeah.
And I'm putting that. I don't know. I'm possibly putting it down to the limited ability of what Ric Flair had at this point in his career.
Yeah. No, that's
So I don't know. I'm probably being a little harsh, but
well, no, I completely agree. You can't ignore that. But that's what I mean. I don't think you could have booked it any other way because it wouldn't have made any sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I'm down. Yeah, I'm down with that. But I'll stick with me 3 because, like I say, for the reasons I've already given.
Yeah.
So I can't remember how did we do it last time. Did we sort of?
So we did like an average of the 5 that we'd watched.
That's what I was. Yeah.
So I'd say on average, you're probably, it's probably about a 3 for the past 5. For the 5, a 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
That's it. For the 3 that we've just done, mathematics, say 2.6 from me.
So it's about there or thereabouts, then, aren't we? Well,
yeah, I think there's 2 really, really good matches that you should check out, and then there are 3 matches. One of which the Sid match was good, but and the Kane match was all right, But I wouldn't sit here and say you must go check those out. Do not watch the Boss Man match because it's garbage.
Yeah, it's a load of shit.
If you're gonna do anything, check out the Triple H. Check out this Triple H match because it's better than any of the other ones with Triple H. Check this one out.
I'm sat here.
They don't talk about it. They don't talk about it, and they should. It's a crying shame.
Yeah, it's a great match. 100%. Yeah. Out of the 3 Triple H matches that he has in the street, that is the best one. Easily.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll go with that.
Well, it's 4 matches, isn't it, now? But they don't talk about this one, so.
So there you are.
Yeah.
There we go. The streak, 6 rated 10.
Yep. Next time it's 11 to 15.
Yes.
So, yeah, Right, you better as well give yourself some plugs, boys.
Go on, Bunker, you go first, mate.
Well, if you've enjoyed listening to my voice as much as I enjoy listening to my voice, which is quite a lot, you can find me on the Gunpowder, Treason, No Plot podcast, a weekly D&D podcast where I play the Dragonborn Paladin Rogar. You can find them on all good podcast providers, and you can follow them on Twitter at TreasonNo. And one day, if you fancy meeting me, I may be in the Red Scar Cafe on Red Scar Business Estate in Preston, Lancashire, the UK. Europe for now.
And yes, you can find me also on the RAD Live podcast. You can find us on Facebook on www.facebook.com/UK RAD podcast. We're on at UK RAD podcast on Twitter. You can find us on all the good podcast catching sort of apps like Spreaker, iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher, and other places like that. And yeah, if you're inclined in sort of like the chaotic evil kind of way, you could also catch my alter ego Steve at Steve GTNP, where he doesn't really rate Rogar as a hero. He just just thinks he's a bit of a twat, really. Yeah. A twat in a really shiny hat.
And of course, you can find our main pod, the Lost Art Podcast, and all the podcast providers, Spreaker, Stitcher, iTunes, Spotify, the usual places. And there was a Lost Art of Wrestling, which we brought to you today on all the podcast providers. Also, find us on Facebook, the Lost Art of Wrestling, on Twitter at LAOW Podcast. And you can email us at lostartofwrestling@gmail.com.
Yes.
So, for the Lost Art of Wrestling, I've been Coxy.
I've been Billy the Boy Bunkle.
And I've been the Flaming Grill.
And this is the podcast where we ask, who better than Canyon?